Have you ever heard the incredible story of an army of elephants stopped by a flock of tiny birds? It sounds like something out of a fantasy movie, but it's a pivotal event in history. Known as the Year of the Elephant, this is the story of a powerful king, a sacred sanctuary, and a miraculous intervention that has echoed through the centuries. Our story begins in the 6th century, in Yemen, a land ruled by a powerful Abyssinian viceroy named Abraha al-Ashram. Abraha was an ambitious and devout Christian. He had seized power in a military coup and was recognized as the ruler by the Abyssinian king. He saw the city of Mecca, with its ancient Kaaba, as a major rival to his own domain. The Kaaba, a simple cubical structure, was the heart of Arabia, drawing pilgrims and trade from all corners of the peninsula. People journeyed for miles to visit this sacred house, a tradition that had existed for generations. Abraha wanted to divert this spiritual and economic traffic to his own capital in Sana'a, Yemen. To achieve this, he embarked on a monumental project. He built a magnificent cathedral, so grand and ornate that it was said to be unparalleled in its time. It was called Al-Qullays. Adorned with gold, silver, and intricate mosaics, it was designed to be the new spiritual center of Arabia, a Christian pilgrimage site that would outshine the Kaaba. He sent out decrees ordering all Arabs to direct their pilgrimage to his new cathedral instead of Mecca. But the Arabs, deeply attached to the Kaaba and the traditions of their forefathers, largely ignored his commands. Their loyalty to Mecca was unshakable. The situation escalated when, according to some traditions, a man from an Arab tribe, angered by Abraha's decree, traveled to Sana'a and defiled the cathedral in an act of defiance. This insult was the final straw. Enraged, Abraha swore a mighty oath. He would march to Mecca and demolish the Kaaba, stone by stone, erasing it from existence. Abraha began to assemble a formidable army, the likes of which Arabia had rarely seen. His force was not just made up of soldiers. Its centerpiece was a colossal war elephant, a terrifying and awe-inspiring beast named Mahmud. In that era, war elephants were the ancient equivalent of tanks, capable of smashing through enemy lines and fortifications. The sight of Mahmud alone was enough to strike fear into the hearts of any who dared to oppose them. With his massive army and his prized elephant leading the charge, Abraha was confident that no one could stand in his way. He set off on the long, arduous journey from Yemen across the desert sands, heading straight for Mecca. As Abraha's army advanced, they subdued various Arab tribes along the way. News of the approaching force spread like wildfire, causing panic and despair. The people of Mecca, the Quraysh, were merchants and traders, not a standing army. They knew they stood no chance against Abraha's military might. As the invaders camped on the outskirts of Mecca, they captured livestock from the surrounding areas, including 200 camels belonging to the leader of the Quraysh, Abdul Muttalib. This man also happened to be the grandfather of the Prophet Muhammad, who would be born later that same year. Abdul Muttalib, known for his wisdom and noble character, went to Abraha's camp to negotiate. Abraha, expecting a plea to spare the Kaaba, was surprised by the chieftain's request. Abdul Muttalib didn't beg for the city or the holy site. Instead, he simply asked for his camels back. Abraha was taken aback. "I came to destroy your house of honor," he said, "and you are only concerned with your camels?" Abdul Muttalib's reply has become legendary. He said, "I am the lord of the camels. The house, however, has its own lord who will protect it." This profound statement of faith left Abraha speechless, but not deterred. He returned the camels but remained firm in his mission to destroy the Kaaba. Abdul Muttalib returned to Mecca and advised his people to evacuate the city and seek refuge in the surrounding mountains. They watched from the hills, helpless, as the mighty army prepared for its final assault. The fate of the Kaaba seemed sealed. The next morning, Abraha ordered his army to advance. He mounted his great elephant, Mahmud, and positioned him at the head of the column, ready to charge and tear down the Kaaba. But then something extraordinary happened. As the army moved towards Mecca, Mahmud, the giant war elephant, suddenly stopped. It knelt down and refused to go any further. No matter how much his handlers prodded, goaded, or even beat him, the elephant would not move a single step towards the Kaaba. If they turned him to face any other direction back towards Yemen, or to the north or east, he would get up and walk. But as soon as they pointed him towards Mecca, he would kneel again. While the army was in disarray, struggling with their stubborn elephant, another unbelievable event unfolded. The sky darkened as a vast swarm of birds appeared, flying in from the sea. These were the Ababil birds, as mentioned in the Quran. Each bird carried 3 small stones, one in its beak and one in each of its talons. They flew over Abraha's army and began to drop the stones on the soldiers below. These were no ordinary stones. Each pebble that struck a soldier caused their flesh to rot and fall away. The once mighty army was thrown into complete chaos and devastation. Panic erupted as soldiers fell where they stood, their bodies disintegrating. The divine intervention was swift and absolute. The army was annihilated, not by a rival force, but by a flock of birds sent by the Lord of the Kaaba, just as Abdul Muttalib had foretold. The powerful force that had set out to demolish the sacred house was itself utterly destroyed. And what of Abraha? He was not spared. Struck by one of the stones, he began to suffer a gruesome decay. His men, horrified, tried to carry him back to Yemen, but his body fell apart piece by piece during the journey. By the time he reached Sana'a, he was a withered shell of his former self, and he died a painful and humiliating death. His grand cathedral, Al-Qullays, soon fell into ruin, a forgotten monument to a king's failed ambition. This remarkable event had a profound and lasting impact on Arabia. The year it occurred, approximately 570 AD, became known as the al-Fil, or the Year of the Elephant. It was so significant that for years, Arabs would date events by saying it happened in the Year of the Elephant, or 2 years after the Year of the Elephant. The miraculous defense of the Kaaba greatly enhanced its sanctity and the prestige of the Quraysh tribe as its guardians. Most importantly, the Year of the Elephant is the year that the Prophet Muhammad was born. It was as if this divine event was a precursor, a sign heralding the arrival of a figure who would change the course of history forever. The story serves as a powerful reminder of faith against overwhelming odds and the idea that true power does not lie in armies or elephants, but in something far greater. It's a testament to the belief that a house of worship, protected by its Lord, could withstand the mightiest of kings. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most incredible events. See you in the next video.